Chancellor, it is my honor to present to you Mr. David Martin, a preeminent figure in the field of educational technology. Mr. Martin has helped revolutionize the classroom by introducing software and equipment that addresses the unique challenges of teaching and learning in the 21st century. As co-founder of Smart Technologies, Mr. Martin is credited with helping to produce the world's first smart board, a combination of computer, projector, and touchscreen. Introduced to the public in 1991, the smart board has since become the poster child product in discussions on classroom modernization. In addition to creating the smart board, Mr. Martin and his partner, Nancy Knowlton, are long-term supporters of university-based research. While heading Smart Technologies, they supported several international research conferences and helped fund individual and group research grants across Canada. As a member of numerous panels, boards, and advisory councils, Mr. Martin has played a major role in helping to shape thinking around technology and education. He is recognized as an expert in distance collaboration and authored a number of articles and papers on the subject of working and learning at a distance. In 2013, Mr. Martin was named Officer of the Order of the British Empire in recognition of his contribution to education as the creator of the Smartboard Interactive Whiteboard. Mr. Martin is also the named inventor on a number of US patents and patent applications pending in the US and around the world. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of Senate and the Board of Governors, it is my privilege and honor to present to you Mr. David Martin so that you may confer upon him the degree of Doctor of Science honorary causa.
It gives me great pleasure to ask Dr. Martin to address the convocation.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President and Vice Chancellor, honored platform guests, graduating class, family and friends. Are you ready to dream big dreams? I think I'm going to talk a little bit about reinforcing the same messages you've heard earlier in the ceremony today. Those of us on the stage and in this building believe that you are. In my business career, I have had the opportunity to meet some very interesting people. One of these was the head of research at Procter & Gamble. At the time that I met him, the company had 100,000 employees, was older, in fact, than Canada as a company was to the country. And the head of research had 8,000 people reporting to him. He told me about a study that had been done at Harvard University at their convocation. It was for science students. The video of the study is very enlightening. You will find it online under the searched term, A Private Universe. All of the graduating students and faculty were still dressed in their convocation robes. The graduates were mingling with their friends and family, and they were asked a very simple question. Could you tell the reason why we have different seasons on Earth? There were some correct answers. But not everyone remembered what they had been taught in their science classes, and most gave an incorrect answer to the question. Are you thinking about what the right answer would be? The head of research at Procter & Gamble made his point that this was to emphasize that if you're going to invent new ways of doing something, you need knowledge. You need to know what went before. Procter & Gamble needed to hire bright graduates with knowledge and skills. Procter & Gamble needed their new hires to bring this knowledge and enthusiasm to solving problems that were based upon good science. Procter & Gamble has created a very large sustainable consumer products business over the last 150 years by getting knowledgeable people to solve problems. When Nancy and I created Smart Technologies in 1987, we believed that we could create a global company that could solve a problem and bring it to market. The idea that I had then for an interactive whiteboard addressed a problem that needed solving, although not everyone we talked to could see that. In trying to finance the creation of the first products, we were rejected multiple times. In trying to sell our product, we couldn't find a lot of buyers. And yet, with little sales and lots of obstacles, we continued. We continued because we believed in what we were doing, we believed in each other, and we believed that if we worked harder, we would succeed. We call these the little tricks of success. They are inspiration, perspiration, and perseverance. Today, Smart has sold more than 5 million SmartBoard interactive whiteboards, ended up in more than 120 countries. Earlier this year at Integrated Systems Europe in Amsterdam, we found a number of companies, more than 30, showing interactive whiteboards, some from Smart, but some that have been created subsequently. We were the first with the idea of an interactive whiteboard. We were the first to bring a product like that to the market. We sold more interactive whiteboards over 25 years than the rest of the industry. We changed the face of education with an idea and the follow-through to make it happen. It was not easy to accomplish. It required the will of a few of us to tackle difficult problems and then follow through with the implementation. It required the initial inspiration and then a lot of perspiration and perseverance to continue as we listened to our customers and introduced innovations. We generated over $5 billion in sales over 25 years. More than 10 years ago, we sponsored a program for young children in grades 5 and 6 to learn about other students and cultures in other locations in North America. It was called the Smarter Kids Connections Program. The program started in September and went through May. It was designed for 6 to 8 schools of that grade level for places as far away as Monterrey, Mexico, to the Bronx in New York, to Calgary. In May, 6 to 8 students from their class were selected and traveled to Calgary to meet with the other students that they had been exchanging information with up to that time. The program for the week in Calgary gave the students an opportunity to learn many things about life, culture, and people. In one of those years, a young boy from Orlando, Florida, was practicing hitting a bullseye target with a bow and arrow. He didn't do well. It was a new sport to him. But he was obviously determined. It was nearing the end of the 8 days in Calgary. He'd learned a lot. The 12-year-old boy stopped what he was doing after his arrow had hit the target. He approached my wife and business partner, Nancy. He said, "Nancy, I am dreaming big dreams." Now, the idea of this had been broached earlier in the week by various leaders as a discussion topic. He said, "For my family, I am the one. It isn't my older brother. It isn't my younger siblings. I am the one in the family who can and will become something." Many years later, we can report that this individual has now graduated from university with a degree in engineering, the first to attend and graduate in his family. For you, as graduates of Concordia, you're now at a point where you've learned a lot. As you set off on the next steps of your journey, you need to take what you have learned and build upon it. As we said at Smart Technologies many years ago, someone is going to invent something somewhere. Why shouldn't it be us? But inventing something is just the first step. That's the inspiration. Continuing with the idea through the application of perspiration and perseverance is what you need to change the world. As citizens of Canada, we stand here in front of you betting that you have what it takes to tackle big problems and dream big dreams. We need you to do this. We need to move to a knowledge-based economy. Can you rise to this challenge? Thank you.
Dr. Martin, thank you for your remarks, and thank you for leaving us with those strong messages which I'm sure resonate with all of us. Congratulations to you.